Hey y'all. So I decided to continue this series and I have kind of mentioned in part like a couple of really amazing people that I have had encounters with during my travels, and I want to uh because I still haven't been able to get in touch with some of these people. I'm still using initials and I'm sorry and I'm not sure that they really would mind, but just in case. JIC. Okay, I kind of try to live my life JIC, you know. Um, yeah, I'm starting to sound a little bad, even though I don't feel bad. But um, anywho, I'm gonna give you another story. So if you are ready, buckle up, Buttercup. I crack my own self up because I gotta find a way to find the humor in things when you know living with a chronic illness is tough, and sometimes I have to put on a happy face. And when I'm making these videos, I make a real effort, most of the time, to put on a happy face, and I thank you for giving me a reason to do it, because some days it don't feel like there's any reason to do anything but roll over. So if it's your first time here, I just want to say welcome. And if you are returning, I just want to say welcome back. I'm still feeling a little teary. 1 second. Welcome back, fam. That's right. That's right. Welcome back. So, um, I have mentioned in a previous video about my travel guru. So, so yes, I had a travel guru who I met while I was taking a sabbatical. I was in Portugal. I had felt drawn to Portugal, and maybe I was drawn to Portugal for just the reason of meeting him. I don't know. But I chose to stay at this really posh boutique hostel in Porto. And while there, I had the good fortune of meeting this young man who is from Trinidad, and he was going to school in the Netherlands. And oddly enough, he never usually he well, I don't say never, but very very rarely stays in hostels, because his whole vibe was being on a budget, that accommodation is one of the most expensive things that you have, right? So you really should try to minimize. So it just so happened that he had gotten this really good deal on Ryanair. If you don't know about Ryanair, it's one of the really inexpensive like bargain hunter airlines in Europe. And he had gotten a really good deal on Ryanair, and he we just gonna call him Ryan. That's what we gonna do. So anyway, Ryan Ryan yeah, he had wasn't able to get a couch surfing place. He wasn't able to get, this is the person who had suggested that I do couch surfing, and I did it. Yeah. But anyway, he wasn't able to get a couch surfing spot for this time frame that he was going to be in Porto, so he ended up staying at a hostel, and that is where we met. And we became very fast friends. And in one of our very first conversations, he mentioned that there was a place in Portugal that was the capital of culture in Europe for that year. And I said, "Oh, not that it was the capital of Portugal, but they have this, I guess they do this thing where they choose a place for being the capital of culture um in different places in Europe." And the place was called Guimarães, right? And I remember it so well because we decided, I was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna go with you, yeah, because I want to see this place and whatever." Lord, the misadventures of Ryan and Robin. That's what we gonna say. Because please hear me now, believe me later. Whew. we got lost. Now, the train system kind of works on a bit of an honor system. Like they can come through and check your ticket, but they may not, because you're just supposed to do the right thing. I believe that's how it went. I don't think I had to have a ticket to get off. I don't think so, because some places I know in Lisbon you have to have the same ticket that you use to get on to get off. But I'm just telling you what happened. What had happened was we we had to change trains, and we took a train in the wrong direction, and then we had to get off and then get another train. And so we kind of messed up. And by the time we got to where we were going, it was like evening. Here we were both on this budget, and then we trying to go somewhere and get the cheapest snack we could afford. Oh, it's just funny. And there is video on that blasted iPad of mine that I can't get into with all the photos and videos. But there's a part where we act like where he's actually, I'm thinking, yeah, I know I say some stuff too, but he acts like he's a reporter talking about Guimarães being the capital of culture and the castle that was behind, and we're on this like really major road, and it's hilarious. It is so funny. Like, we had a blast, and I think that cemented the relationship for good on this amazing, trip that we had together. And yeah, we made our way back, late that night. We got back to our hostel, and it was all good. And when I had mentioned to him that I was planning to go to all these different places, I didn't have an exact list, but like all these different places in Europe while I was there, because I wanted to see as much as I could, during this 2-month stint. And I had already said, I'm gonna be in Portugal for a month. And I can't remember exactly how far into my month I was when I met him in Porto, but I had mentioned that I was going to take the Eurorail, and he was like, "Why? Why would you do that?" And I was like, "Because I'm reading all of these vlogs of people who are traveling and they take the train." And he was like, "Why would you take the train? Like, don't take the train. Like, when you can fly faster." Like, there were some places that he was like, "Yeah, you can take the train to go there." But in general, he was saying, why not fly? And that way you can go to more places and see more things or whatever. So he basically told me to make a list of places that I wanted to go, and give him an idea of roughly how long I wanted to stay there. And he would map it out for me using like Ryanair, like, so, and get me a cost. So I think when I had was looking at it initially, the Eurorail pass was going to cost me about $1,500 or something for that month that I was going to be traveling, like to be able to get on and off as many times as I wanted to or whatever. And he got me all the flights to go where I wanted to go for $500. Yeah. So it included me going to I want to say Venice. Yes, with me going to Venice, to going to Paris, going to Edinburgh, Scotland, going to Milan, going to Seville, Spain. Where else did I go? I can't remember exactly. I don't recall. It was a lot of places. I may have left out one or two. Fiber fog. So I don't always remember everything, but I can tell you he saved me a lot of money. He saved me a whole lot of money, and he also empowered me. Because I just had no idea that I could do so much on a much smaller budget. And little did I know I was going to need to. That story is still coming up. I know I keep teasing at it, but that story is coming up. Trust and believe. Trust and believe me. So, yeah. Uh, um, yeah. I'm laughing because I don't want to cry. I'm laughing because I don't want to cry. But anyhow, Ryan was my travel, continues to be my travel guru. If I have any questions about travel, surely I can ask Ryan, because Ryan knows. Ryan has been to, I'm sure, more than 60 countries, and I'm telling you, has done it on a budget, because that's how he rolls. That's how he rolls. So, my shout out to Ryan, who actually, and I know it's got to be his dream job. I've never asked him, but I'm going to ask him, if indeed it is his dream job, that he is a producer and presenter, on television for, one of his local stations. Yes. So, for where he's living now. So anyway, and of course he covers travel. I'm telling you, it's his expertise. And so yeah, it was days in Portugal, that led to good times, many good conversations, and I also have mentioned that it was because of Ryan that I ended up in Peru, because it was Ryan who I was back. I had been back from traveling, and I was back in New York, and I had been ill. But I wasn't doing anything, and we were messaging on Facebook one day, and he was like, "What are you doing?" And I said, "Nothing, just trying to get better or whatever." And he said, "Well, guess what? I spoke with the people who, run this program that I'm, where I'm doing my externship, and I told them about you, that you're a social worker, and this, and that, and blah, blah, blah. And, they're willing to give you an interview to maybe you can come and volunteer." And I, was like, okay, but of course I'm a little leery, because I'm worried that I'm going to be ill or whatever. And, and I don't know, but what I do know is that if I am ill, I can't do nothing. I mean, and it wasn't anything strenuous, anything like that. It wasn't like I had to lift any weight, because I can't do nothing. But sometimes I was in my bed, which people who know me from Peru know that I was sick a lot while I was there. I was sick a lot. Not necessarily just with the not just with my fibromyalgia, but I also had food poisoning multiple times, and I had a bacterial bug infection or something or other, that came from food and water. And because I was a novice traveler, I was a tourist turning into a traveler, and so I didn't know some things. But now I know, like when I get that certain feeling in my stomach, oh, I know what that is. I know what I need to take. So it has saved me many a day. So when I tell you that this travel guru, like, is at the inception of me truly becoming a traveler, hear me now, believe me later. This Ryan was the it, and I mean the ish is the ish. So yeah, I ended up having this interview, and the person basically said, who has become a very, very good friend of mine, but the person basically said, "Well, if Ryan says you're great, then I know you must be great." So, because we love Ryan. I'm like, everybody loves Ryan. So yeah. So Ryan and Fancita. That's a joke. Yeah, Fancita. And then when I got there, I had Fantabulous. Yeah. These are the names we gave to our fans because that's how important those fans were to us. They had names. They were loved. They were beloved. Yes, indeed. But anyway, so it was because of Ryan that I ended up in Peru, and I had the opportunity to be there and learn a lot and get my, the beginning of my Spanglish together and meet other people and other opportunities because the very same person who interviewed me to go to Peru ended up being the very same person who made it possible for me to go to Thailand. And yeah, I did all these things on a whim, the grace and mercy of my friends and family because they knew I was broke like no joke. And I couldn't, and this is the thing that I want people to understand. If I could, in my dream of dreams, if I could work like 6 months to a year as my former self, as my healthy version of myself, oh man, I would have a little stockpile of cash that would keep me going to Social Security because I was doing good. And now I am a mere shell of myself. And when I talk about the pocket part, I mean not even a shell, not even a shell of myself. But the universe will rise up to meet you where you are and just open doors and windows. Let you sneak in somehow, some way, and live your dreams if you just trust the process. So I thank Ryan for being I'm almost the most important empowering encounter that I had, because had it not been for Ryan, I would not have been able to do what I did, learn what I've learned, and manage after the shock and awe of a very serious misfortune that occurred in Venice. Yes, I'll tell that story one of these days when I can get myself around to it. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, my hat is off. My hat is off to Ryan because of Ryan, I've met so many other people, but also because of Ryan, I was able to inspire other travelers. I have told the stories of my travels to so many people, and they are amazed. They can't believe it. They're like, "What?" I'm like, "Yeah." And you had how much? And I've been like, "Yeah." Did you know about this and that and blah blah blah? And they just are like flabbergasted. And I owe it all to my empowering encounter with Ryan. Ryan really is, this is what I'm saying about the universe. Like, why is it that I only went to Porto because somebody I met in Lisbon said that they had wanted to go and didn't get there? That's the first thing. I then decided to stay at this more posh of a hostel than I normally would have been looking for because it was new, and that thing said it had it had an elevator, which was like, what? I don't have to lug a bag, because remember I had that heavy bag, so I didn't have to lug a bag up anybody's stairs. I was like, yes. So I stayed at a place that I probably would not have stayed because it cost a little bit more, but it was so worth it. That part. And then Ryan didn't really like staying in hostels because he would have to pay. So because it was a weekend, he decided to just do it and stayed at this hostel because it had an opening or whatever, and there we met. Is this coinkydink? Is this a coincidence? I don't think so. I think this was the universe rising up to meet me. making everything happen for me, right? And I got to meet Ryan, and Ryan got to tell me all these secrets, these these tips and tricks, and yeah, just made everything happen from there. So I salute Ryan, and I feel like everybody else need to be thanking Ryan. Everybody in the comments say thank you, Ryan. Thank you, Ryan, because all my quick travel tips that I've learned over time really have come at the benefit of me knowing Ryan. Like all of these, so many things that I didn't know and that I didn't even know to look for and that I just wasn't paying attention to, because when you are a tourist, you don't necessarily focus on the little parts, the details. You just, you pay for the package and you just go with the package. Like you just don't know. But when you are the person who is dotting all the I's and crossing all the T's, you do a different thing. So anyway, I just, I can't say enough about Ryan. And if indeed Ryan does say that I can mention who he is, and I will try to link like one of his videos that he does travel related, and maybe you can get a little bit of his personality, and because I'm telling you, he's a hoot. He's so funny. He is so funny. He's the best. And when I tell you we had a good time, now did I mention this? I can't remember if I mentioned this, but when I got to, the funny part is when I got to Peru, just to backtrack a little bit, when I got to Peru, I got there on a Wednesday. My mind is telling me it was a Wednesday, and he was leaving on a Friday, to go to Ecuador. And I was like, what? So here I was going to this place so that we would be able to be support and company for each other. And he was going someplace different, and then I was going to be there by myself, knowing nobody, right? So, but yeah, I think I tell that story in talking about the power went out in the water, and I think I mentioned that. But yeah, so this is shout out to Ryan, and like I said, I'm gonna reach out to him and see if he minds me mentioning, and if he doesn't, I'm going to put that in the community tab as well. So check out the community tab, because I'm gonna be putting some stuff up there, and I might even be able to link it in the description of this video. I'll see if I can do that. I might be able to link it in the description of this video, if indeed he says yes. I can do one of his videos or something in there. But I'm telling you, we had a blast together. We had fun. I remember, but I'm just say this about that trip to Guimarães, besides us getting lost, I remember us laughing till we cried about that, doing this whole take on the like this news presenter for Guimarães. But I remember saying, like, dude, like, you sitting there eating, we ain't ate like food, and he got like a chocolate, it was like a chocolate croissant or something, and I was just like who eats that, sweet stuff when they hungry? Like, what? But anyway, he is a crack up. He's a great guy. We had many fun times when we were in Peru together, and he is indeed still my travel guru. I just think the world of him. I thank him so much for being so instrumental in my travel journey. And yeah, because of him, I am a traveler and not a tourist any longer. So thank you, Ryan. Anywho and anyhow, let's move forward and take care of the business of you too, because first name Algo, last name Rhythm. He don't give me no kind of play. I don't understand. Like, you know other people can benefit from these videos. I don't know why he doesn't get the message yet. But since he doesn't, I need you to do your part. Can you please like this video, comment below, share it with a friend or two, and ask them to do the same. And then subscribe, subscribe, subscribe if you haven't done so already, because we need this. We need to grow, grow, grow. I'm not seeing any growth, people. I'm not seeing any growth. And remember what I told you, no growth can happen inside your comfort zone. So I need to be expanding outside of the comfort zone. So if I only have my friends who already know my story hearing my story, it really doesn't help anybody else, let alone me. So, and thank you for being the inspiration for me to try to put on a happy face some days when I don't feel like I can. Okay, I thank you for that today, and never forget that it means the world to me that I get to share my world with you. I greatly appreciate you spending your precious time with me, because you only get to spend it once. Okay, so thank you, thank you, thank you. And I always try to, throw in there, do good, because being a person on this planet is meaningful in the way that you affect others while you're here. That's what I truly believe. So I just want to remind you to, make an effort to do good. Be intentional with your doing good, that in a way that doesn't just benefit you, but also benefits others. Okay? So be a better version of yourself today than you were yesterday, and be an even better version tomorrow. Okay? So, I guess that's it. Another empowering encounter story. I guess I'm just gonna keep them coming. Until the next time, ciao for now.